Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a eye look tutorial. Again, like that's sort of what I do on my channel now because it's too boring to see me apply my foundation because I don't change that. So yeah, this video, as you guys have probably seen by the title, is all based on this palette, and this is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. So this is part of Huda's Christmas collection, I think. It is a limited edition palette. They came out October, I think. I think it's for a Christmas collection, no idea. I think they're also called gemstone palettes or something, I have no idea. It's just her limited edition Obsessions palette. So yeah, this is my second of her limited edition palettes that I have. I only have the two of them. You guys would have already seen the Ruby Obsessions palette. So yeah, I want to use that palette more because I want to try it out a little bit more, but I actually love this palette. I wasn't all that fussed on the Rubies one. But yeah, she also has a green one, which is an Emerald Obsessions, her blue one, which is Sapphire Obsessions, and her purple one, which is Amethyst Obsessions. I chose this one and the Rubies because I like reds. Well, actually I don't really have any like reddish colors in my collection, and I chose this one because I love warm tones, and I didn't want to buy her warm tone or her warm browns Obsessions, which is one of the like original ones, because I've heard really bad reviews on it. So that's why I went for this one. And the blue one actually really caught my eye. I thought it would look amazing, but there were some shades in it, like the silver, that were really patchy. Other than that, I love this palette. There's a few issues I have with it, sort of like I did with the Rubies one, like the glitters in both. They have a lot of fallout, so don't wear foundation while you apply it. That was my mistake with this one. They also, the issue I found with the glitters in the Rubies palette was that they fell into my eye and irritated my eye. So just be aware of that one. I think the glitters need to be pressed onto the eye and underneath the eye, so you don't get fallout on your face or your eye. But yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this eye look, then just keep watching. Let's go. Okay, so I have primed my eyes and set the primer in place with just like a translucent powder, because in the palette there's not really a setting shade. There is this middle shade here, but I wouldn't really call it a setting shade for my undertone anyway, so that's why I just did that. I have no idea what sort of eye look I'm going to do with this palette. All I know is I'm using this palette. So like always, I'm grabbing a big fluffy blending brush, and this time I'm going to use this middle shade. I'm just going to try and use as many of these eyeshadows as we can. So this is just going in the crease in large circular motions. Because it's so like a light colour, it can be as messy as you want it to be. Just blending it up now a little bit above the crease, but not going up into the brow bone area. Now I'm going to go in with this shade here. There's no names for these shades, so I'm just pointing to them. I'm using the same brush as before, and just blending that in circular motions in the crease, starting on the outer edge and blending our way forward to the inner corner. We're not doing as big of a blending as we did for the first one. And just sort of blend out the color after you've like placed the color. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this shade down here on the same fluffy blending brush, but this time instead of doing circular motions, we're going to just do back and forth motions like this. And go as low in the crease as you can, just very lightly. And then I'm going to go back in with the middle shade here on the same brush. And this time we're just going to blend it out. Now I'm going to go in with this darker shade here. And just on like a, what is it called? The Luxe Petite crease brush from Zoeva. It's just sort of like a domed blending brush. And this is going right in that crease. Right at the bottom, if you could see what I was doing. And as you can see that, like, with the eye closed, you can see it's like at the bottom. But then when you open your eyes, you can sort of see like the darkness inside. I'm hoping the camera is picking this up. Okay, so now I'm going to do a gradient eye using the shimmery shades. I'm only going to use, I think, 3 out of the 4 of them. So I'm just going to use this MAC shading brush, which is the 239. And I'm just going to grab this lightest shimmery shade. And this we are patting on the inner third of the eye. We're just going to start by using a brush, and then eventually we'll move on to fit the finger. But at the moment we're just applying the color. So this lightest shimmery shade is going on the inner third. Okay, now we're going to use the finger. Brush wasn't picking up enough pigment, so that's why we moved to the finger. Now I'm going to go in with this gold shimmery shade on the same brush, and we're just overlapping and putting this on the center third of the eye. Now I'm going to go in with my finger. And now for the outer third, we're going to use this shimmery shade here and the same brush. And we're just patting that on the outer third and overlapping it with the middle third. Now go in with the finger. Okay, and now I'm going to go back in with this top shade up here. And we're just going to put that back over the darkest shade. Now going back in with this shade here and the same brush that we used with it before. And we're just going to be putting this in the crease. And then grabbing the blending brush again with no extra product, like the big fluffy blending brush. And just blend that all out. And now we're going to use a pencil brush and the same 3 shades we used on the eyelid. We're going to do the same look on the bottom. So grabbing the lightest shade, we're just going to apply that on the inner third. We're also going to loop it around the tear duct. Now for the middle shade, we're just going to pat that on the lower lash line. And then for this last shade. I'm just going to sort of lightly wipe off the pencil brush. And now going in with this yellow shade, I'm just going to blend that underneath all three of those shades. Okay, I'm going to go in with this blending brush. It's a very tiny blending brush from Sigma. It's the E36, if they still have the same names. I'm just blending that down there. And now I'm just going to wipe out all the fallout. I have so much fallout on my face, it's ridiculous. Now I'm just going to apply some mascara. Okay, that is the finished eye look for the Huda Beauty Taupe Obsession or Topaz Obsessions palette from their limited edition Gemstone Obsessions palettes, I think. So I used all bar one shade in this palette. I didn't use this shade up here, but I used every other shade. My thoughts on this palette are that this shade here, it's got sort of like the middle shade, it sort of has like no purpose at all. It's like, it's not really a setting of primer shade, and it's not really a crease shade. So it hasn't really got much value to the palette. The glitters have so much fallout. So I'm actually thinking maybe I shouldn't put my foundation on first when I do these looks, because glitter does not come off. So the glitter that's on my face, not that you can really see it, it's all here, it's not gonna come off. I tried to get most of it off and I got some of it off, but glitter stays forever. So, but other than that, I love this palette. I love the color scheme because I don't have the warm browns palette, and I'm not going to get that palette because I've heard really not good things about that one palette. Like, all the other palettes are like great and everyone loves them. It's just the warm browns palette that doesn't, like, yeah, it has so much bad reviews. So I have the Topaz and the Rubies Obsession palettes from the limited edition one. You would have seen the Ruby tutorial last week, I think it was. That's when I'm planning to upload it, is the week before I upload this one. I actually prefer this eye look to the one that I did with the Rubies palette, but I'm hoping that maybe I might use the Ruby palette again in another tutorial, maybe for my Christmas inspired tutorial. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I love this palette, and I don't really have any colors in my collection that are sort of like this. I love this palette. I'm going to love seeing how many different looks I can come up with. It's a great range of colors. Like, if you were pressed, you could use this middle shade to set your eyeshadows, but I'm just not sure how it would go. But I love this. It's got all the shades I need for a neutral look, and then all the shades to turn a neutral look into a nighttime look. And I love how tiny it is. Like, it fits in the palm of my hand. So yeah, I think it is so worth the $48 Australian that we pay here, and what I think it's like $27 that you guys pay in America. But I think it's so worth it. I love it, and yeah, awesome palettes. I can't wait to try out the original ones. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel because it means so much to me when you guys do, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys, bye.